Good afternoon to you all. Uh, Thank you so much for joining. Today we have a very interesting topic to share. Lots of you have asked when is going to be a new update, what is going on with CASE. Well, today we have lots of new things to share. My name is Anita, and I am the account manager and commercial strategy manager at I am CyberSec. And today I brought with me many great people that will share some really good updates. Now, before we start, I would like to share a few house rules uh, that that will apply during this 1 hour webinar. So first and foremost, of course, everything here is anonymous. So we are not able to see your names. And after the webinar is over, you're going to receive a recording in your inbox for all of those who were not able to come. Now, you can see as well, here we have a QA section in which, for example, if you have any questions or you haven't heard it well, you can always pop up the question and your question will be responded as soon as possible. As well, we also have here a chat. As well, everything is anonymous if you want to add a message, but also keep in mind, here we will also leave links to the calendars in case you are interested in booking a consultation or a free case health check with us. As you can see from the chat, there are two account managers who are divided by the regions. For Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and France, you can contact the president of IM CyberSec, Ulrich Hustert, and for others countries from Benelux, Nordics, Italy, Spain, Africa, or Asia, you can contact me. Now, let's start the meeting. I think the introduction was already quite long. So the meeting will take off with our CEO, Peter Dorfer. Welcome, Peter.
Yeah, welcome everybody. My name is Peter Dörfer. I'm the CEO of Software Factory. I'm still the CEO because we are going to rename the company into I am CyberSec or Imagine Cybersecurity. So it's the same people, it's just a different name. So you can see our team on the right-hand side. So you've already heard Anita. She introduced the meeting. So with us is also Uli Hustert, our sales VP of sales. Raphael, he's a technical consultant and our chief technology officer. And myself, I'm the CEO along with Uli, but I'm also technical. I'm not just sales, I'm also technical. We founded the company in 2017, so we're around for quite a while. Actually, we've not just started in 2017 with CASE. We're working with CASE since about 15 years. And in this many years, we've served over 260 customers in Europe. So we specialize in endpoint management, IT security, and compliance, and we offer our customers consulting, implementation, technical support, and training for our products. We have relationships with a couple of vendors. So today we're focusing on CASE. So Quest, we're a Quest Platinum Plus partner. So we not only sell licenses, but we also deliver services. But we also have a relationship with Action One, with KnowBe4, and with Huntress. So let's move to more technical. So it was quite a lengthy introduction already. So let's dig into the topic of today, CASE version SMA version 15. So I'm handing over to Sven.
Thank you very much, Peter, and welcome everyone. Good afternoon. For everyone that does not know me, so my name is Sven. I am not from CyberSec or Software Factory. I'm from Quest. Some of you guys know me from the past. It has been a while here and there, But yeah, I'm sales engineer, so also technical, and happy to share today what's new in version 15 of the SMA, so that we can see, okay, what changed, what can we do now? And I think the biggest improvement here that really happened was in the area of dashboards. We got a huge update in the whole dashboard library and everything. So I will go through that in a bit live, of course, and show you what changed here. We got a favorite feature, which means you can now select certain pages as a favorite. You know, I mean, you all probably have some pages where you are more and others where you are less, kind of maybe inventory devices, maybe in the service desk ticket queue, wherever it is. So you can mark them now as favorite and can navigate quickly through the favorite list into those pages without clicking through the whole sidebar. We got some patch catalog enhancements. This is quite interesting for every one of you that maybe knows Case Cloud. We got that quite a while ago. So here we got now in SMA as well the information about what CVEs are closed by patches. I will dig a little bit deeper into that later as well. And of course, some other details like CVSS, EPSS scores, etc. On the Linux side, we got a new checkbox. It is simply just a new checkbox. But previously, we were just able to basically patch all or nothing. Now, at least, we got a checkbox to select that we only want to update security packages for Linux, so that we have it a little bit separated. We got some security and logging enhancements. So for everyone of you that uses syslog servers or SIEM solutions, we offer now an encrypted channel to those solutions. Before it was a little bit open. We also provide more logs now, more information. So this is also a cool thing. Some script log retention redesigns that we can choose a little bit better how long the retention rates are. Splashtop integration improvements. Here we got a couple of improvements. So one is that we can choose now before we connect if we want to change something on the settings. Meaning if I have my default settings and I log in, for example, on a server and don't want that an approval message pops up, I can disable it for this particular connection. But I also got now the remote control icon in tickets in the service desk. So now if you're in a ticket, you can directly connect to the device and you don't have to go separately into the inventory anymore. And some quick links for efficiency in the dashboards. So nothing too major. Now I will try to share my screen. And hopefully you can see it now. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the Q&A box, in the chat box. We have an eye on that, and I hope that you can see my screen now. Someone
Yes, we
is
do.
okay. I can see. Perfect. So, welcome in version 15. As always, before you upgrade, make sure that you create a backup. If you want to use snapshots, shut down the appliance first, so that the database is detached and doesn't get corrupted. The normal stuff. I think most of you are long enough in the game to know that, but again, it's a major upgrade. Also, always consider with a major upgrade to import a new appliance template, because here and there we also change some partitioning layouts, which will not be done with an in-place upgrade. So if it has been a while where you last imported the appliance, might make sense to do a little new import now, do a backup restore, so that you are on the latest partitioning layouts, which can also, of course, increase performance. But back to the topic. Welcome to the new dashboards. I know that some of you might or might not use external tools, especially for those that use the service desk or asset management massively. The dashboards were always kind of limited. We didn't really have a chance to provide a dashboard for everyone or provide a dashboard for different groups of users, kind of management, admins, maybe even end users. And now we got the possibility here on the top right corner to open up the settings of the dashboards. So we got some new features here. I will go through that a little bit. I mean, the last three is basically add a widget, email the dashboard, and force refresh. So functionality that you know from reporting to send a report automatically on a schedule. We can do that with the dashboards as well, which basically creates a snapshot at this point and sends it out. But of course, I also added some dashboards here, and now you can really centrally create dashboards for different groups of users. So in my case, I create, for example, a management dashboard, and you can even permit users on specific widgets. Which means you can really say, okay, the active tickets widget, for example, should only be viewable by management. And normal end user or admin shouldn't see it, and so on. Always have to see what makes sense here or not. But for the management dashboard, I create, for example, some widgets. And one important thing here is really, and this is what I really love, you can now create a widget out of any report. Before it was always those prepared widgets. It was kind of, well, we had some widgets, but it was not very flexible. Now, from every report, it doesn't matter if it is an SQL report, if it is a report that you created with a wizard, any information that you have now in the database and which we can get out via reporting can be converted in a widget. I will also show later a little bit more, but you can also change now. Let me quickly see. I think this one here was another. So you can also change the chart types now. So whether it is a bar, line, a simple table or so. So it got quite flexible. The titles of the X and Y axis, of course, the legend position. So you have plenty of abilities now. We can even add maps, but this is a bit limited right now. We just have a worldwide and an America map. So for the European region, I would say it's not very handy, but I requested already to add more maps here. And with that, I really have my management dashboard that I can share with other people. I have all the important information about license compliance, expired contracts, and so on. And the same, what I did is as well a security dashboard where my focus is on security, so I can better see patch compliances, critical patch compliance, and especially now where we have this information available about the CVSS. Of course, I can also create great widgets about that information, so I can see, okay, yesterday, for example, I had one device patched and one not patched on critical CVSS scores. So I can get really a quick overview about, okay, are all the critical things covered right now in my environment? Do we have maybe issues somewhere? Do we have delays? I mean, the critical patch compliance can be a little bit sometimes not accurate depending on your detect schedules, but especially on the CVSS scores, this is for sure a little bit better indication, okay, are we good or not? So that at least critical and high CVSS or CVEs are installed so that we are good to go. But also Windows 10, Windows 11 releases, we know it when a build version is not supported by Microsoft anymore, we don't get security updates. So also definitely a security related topic. And on the right-hand side, I just create a little table widget with critical and important patches that ran into issues. So again, you're completely flexible now. You can add whatever widget. You can convert any report into a widget. So you have very great abilities here to create now your custom dashboards, share them with a group of people, and even permit people on specific widgets. I see that in the Q&A box there's something. Oh, okay, just Uli that mentioned again that you can ask your questions there. Just real quick, how does it look like for anyone that goes into a report that was created with a wizard? Don't worry, you don't see directly the options for the widget. I just go into one of my reports. So what you will see is just till this point here, till the filters. Just click on the filters and you will see another button down here to create a widget. And once you click on that, you get two more options here. You get the aggregation, where you can basically add your fields where you want to group by, and the aggregate function. In my case here, for example, I counted the BitLocker status on or off, and of course count the system name here, but I also have different other options available. I can even sort after the aggregation a little bit. And then in the configure chart option, I have all the abilities here. I can choose my different types. Again, there's also US and world geography for the European countries, not that best. Maybe you can use the world, that you at least see what assets you have in Germany and stuff. But again, I requested already a bit more detailed maps. But again, you also have plenty of other types available. You can preview the charts so that you can see how it would look like later on. You can even choose the cache lifetime. Please be careful with that. I mean, 30 minutes is anyway minimum, but depending on the query as well in the background, always remember it's still a database, and especially if it contains a lot of contain filters. It's really heavy on the database, so make sure that your queries are also efficient as possible so that the appliance can work with it. If you have SQL reports, this is a bit simpler. So if you have a SQL report, you see the checkbox here. You just select it, and then you have the same options. Here, the only difference is that you can also choose what permissions should be referenced to. So if you say you have different roles, for example, and you want that, for example, people that have different rights on the inventory devices, read and write, or even hidden, you can reference then to this inventory devices permissions so that the widgets is whether there or not, readable or even editable. So those permissions will be copied then. Yeah, and I talked about the patch management enhancements as well. Again, if you have any questions, feel free. And now if you go after the update in the catalog, of course, give it some time. I usually recommend to just wait overnight at least, so that the catalog can synchronize. But now you get quite good information on the vulnerabilities that are closed actually with the patches. So it's not just the information about the patch and what it supersedes. We get also now the table, and this is really cool. So probably some of you maybe searched before for CVEs. We also got some results here and there, but just because the CVE was mentioned in the patch description, it was not really accurate. Now we really collect, I mean, again, for everyone who knows Case Cloud, this is for a long time in there already. So we requested as well to get it in the SMA because it's really valuable information. So now we can see what CVEs are closed with those patches. We see the update date. We see how critical the CVEs are, how likely it is that they will be exploited. We see if they are already exploited and if they are used even in ransomware campaigns. The good thing is this year, only in February, we had a patch, a Microsoft patch that was used in ransomware campaigns, or better said, it closed a vulnerability that was used in those campaigns. I don't know if everyone is aware of that it happened in February. So I think this is also very great information to filter on, right? So as you know, you have your smart labels. So of course you can go ahead, go into the smart label section, and now maybe you can create a little bit different kind of smart labels. Before you probably went and go with classification critical or security updates, but now you can really go as well and say, look, I want, for example, a very forced schedule to run on all the devices if we detect that a vulnerability is already exploited, right? Because I would say this is even more critical. And you can see if I just search for that, we have over 1,300 patches in there. But to be fair, most patches are a lot in the past. So when we look here, of course, currently we have some edge patches that are actually closing something that is exploited in the field. And we had some Google Chrome patches, and you will see probably, I mean, this is not in particular the latest version. You can also see it's inactive. So most of the time, the old patches got already superseded. But we can also see, for example, that there are some, and look, this is December here still, but there are also some older patches sometimes that are still active because they never got superseded. So, or there are parts in there that got never superseded. So it's definitely good to also, if you have a filter after the release date, I always recommend to at least have a detect schedule where no release date filter is in. Because I see it in all of my POCs, and probably Peter Raphael can confirm that as well. Whenever you have a release date filter, you sometimes don't detect older patches. And it happens that there are older patches that never got superseded, but they just fall over this filter, right? Because it's never in this patch group, so it will never be detected as missing. But as we know, hackers are not dumb. They always try to get even old vulnerabilities exploited. So we should always have at least a fallback detect schedule so that you see what is actually missing, and don't just trust on those filters if you have filtered on the release date. Yeah, on the other hand side, and I'm almost done with my demo so that we can proceed a little bit. Again, splash-top enhancements. I will just quickly close my connection here. So whenever I click now on the remote control icon, I get this notification here where I can now use custom settings. Again, now, if I want, for example, to connect without the permission request, I can just change it. In my environment, it's anyway off. But yeah, I can switch those settings. This got also over from Case Cloud, for example. And if I click on OK, we got a little please wait window now, nothing too special. And for anyone who didn't know, Splashtop is integrated in the SMA, so you can purchase it as an add-on if you want to get rid of your TeamViewer installation or so. Feel free to contact Uli or Anita so that we can talk a little bit in detail about that. And if I go quickly into the tickets, we can see now here that within the tickets we have on the right-hand side, for everyone who is familiar with the service desk, on the right-hand side we have all the device information, asset information, etc. And now we got this remote control link here where I can also click on OK, and then I immediately connect to my device. The other changes again, one thing, I just forgot about that, favorites, very, very important, of course, but let me quickly show you. You have on the top right corner here now a favorite icon. If I click on that, I can choose a title, first level, whatever it is, can save that. And then I have now here on the top my favorite list. Up to 50 favorites can be saved. And then I can, for example, go to my dashboards and just navigate through my favorite list here to the different web pages. A little nice to have, I would say. The rest is in the background, syslog server and everything. I cannot really show that. So if you need more details about that, please reach also out to us. And I would say I give it now to Uli, and thanks for your attention.
Perfect, Sven. As usual, it was very interesting, and I think this is really a major update and exactly what people were waiting for a long time. It's something great Quest did, so you went basically through all the points we discussed. And again, if there's any questions, please ask now in the Q&A, in the chat, or feel free to book a meeting with us. Anita already put the links to our booking calendar in the chat. Use that, and we happy to run through. So interesting for me, we actually have more people join this webinar than where we originally had registered. So that never happened to me. It must be a very interesting topic for everyone here. So, but I didn't see a single question. So I think, Sven, you did a very good job showing it. But I know we spoke already to a couple of customers, and I know there are questions. There are questions always coming up, and we put some of the questions we received here on the slide. So we haven't received the 15 update yet. Why is that, for example? And we can tell you. So nothing to worry about. Quest is rolling them out in waves, so not every customer will receive them straight away. This is always just a safety measure from Quest and for the support as well. Every time when you install a major update, obviously something can go wrong. Yeah, so we don't want to roll it out to all our customers and then having trouble. So it will come in multiple waves, but there is a way how to get it right now. So if you're interested, contact us. We can explain you how to do that. But we would recommend still to do certain tests and look at certain points in your current environment. As Sven just showed, this is a major update, and it also requires certain specifics. Like we talk about resources, for example. Make sure you have assigned enough resources to your appliance. Also, a common thing is VMware compatibility mode need to be at a certain level to make sure that there's no problems coming up. It would not even prevent you from updating, but it could generate problems like network problems, stuff like that. So recommendation is to check that. But if you don't feel comfortable and you want us to take a look at your plans, we offer a free health check. We can go through that with you and use again the meeting, the booking link Anita put in the chat to book a meeting with me or Anita, and together with one of our case experts, Peter or Raphael, will join us. And so far, just a few other points. My commercial strategy manager reminded me to put them here. So if you need pricing information, if you need a renewal quote, please ask us. Even though if you say like, we have a partner, we get it from Quest directly, we can match the price or get you even a better discount. We're a Platinum Plus partner, and we get a very high discount level, which we give to our customers as well. So feel free to request a quote from us, even if it's just to compare what you already received. We are our focus is.
Sorry, Oli, to interrupt you. We have 3 questions. Should we quickly answer them?
Oh, yes, sure.
Okay, I just take them over. So one is, can we get an upgrade guide or something for the new version? Pretty sure. So from the Quest side, we offer something, but also Software Factory can guide you through that to get to the latest version or even migrate to a new VM template, as I mentioned. Then the other question was, what about Windows 11, 24H2, 25H2? Any changes in SMA? I think this is probably related to feature upgrades. So the agent fully supports these operating systems as of now. Also, the patch catalog should have all the latest updates already in there. When it comes to the feature upgrades, Microsoft, unfortunately, started to refuse giving out those updates. So no vendor can upgrade right now to feature upgrades. I heard something that with 25H2 it should be different, but I didn't see any progress on that right now. So for the moment, unfortunately, as long as Microsoft is not giving us the upgrades anymore, we have to work around with scripting or software deployment. You can also get some guides from Software Factory here. From the Quest side, we also offer some guides. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not on us really. No vendor at the moment can really patch it except you work around that. Also, will there be a third-party software update feature in the future, like Patch My PC? There are just a few vendors now. So we support over 100 vendors with over 400 products. So check maybe your subscription and patching. Maybe you didn't subscribe to everything. But also, since it's our own catalog, always feel free to request. You can send over a list of software vendors to the Quest support. There is a process for that, so that we add your vendors as long as they are not covered behind a paywall or something like that. So always feel free to everyone. So if you have software that is not in the patch catalog, request it through a ticket, because then we have a chance to look into that and see if we can add it to the catalog, because over time the catalog is growing and growing. So we really relate also on your feedback. But of course, we also add software vendors over time. But over 400 products are covered, and continuously growing. And last question, and then I give it back to you, Uli, so that we don't lose too much time. There's been a long gap between two versions, which makes me concerned. Yes, that is right. So there was a 14.2 version planned in between, but we decided internally to move it completely over to 15.0 because also of the dashboard update. So it was really an internal decision. Okay, do we stick with a minor update in between where honestly not too many things were in there? Instead of the minor update, we got multiple cumulative updates in between. So please also consider those as well, even though they are not officially called a minor or major update, but also the cumulative updates fix bugs, they upgrade the FreeBSD. So we changed our update cycles here massively, and the SMA is actually getting more updates than ever before. So also those cumulative updates, always keep them in your view. You also see in the dashboards if new cumulative updates are released. Again, they cover the FreeBSD updates, package upgrades, bug fixes, sometimes even little new features or improvements. They are just called a little bit differently. But yeah, so we definitely actively develop the case products. Of course, strategy-wise, everyone is going into software as a service. So also with us, Case Cloud is the main product. But if you're interested, we can go into more detail. And I don't want to take too much more time from Uli. So back to you. Sorry for the quick excursus.
Actually, I don't want to waste too much more time neither. Just the last word from my side, and then we have a little special for you to finish off. So just want to say, because some of the questions point in the direction that maybe if you need some help, if you need some training, support, why don't I see any third-party patches in my appliance coming up? This might be a configuration thing. So please set up a meeting with us. We're happy to look into that. We can provide training and anything technical needed from your side. So with that, there is another, let's say, a surprise I want to offer here at the end. Something which might be very useful. It's something we see a lot of customers struggle with, and is my on-premise case SMA. How can I manage actually my external devices? We use a VPN. I'm not really comfortable with a VPN, and the VPN is not available all the time. On the other hand, I don't want to put the case in the DMZ. There might be some limitations, or you just don't feel confident from a security point of view. And probably a lot of those concerns are maybe not wrong. So we want to introduce something brand new and really exciting. A Zero Trust VPN by us, by IM CyberSec. And with that, Raphael, I would like that you show a little bit what this brand new solution actually can do for our case customers. Yeah, it's not limited to case, but we want to demonstrate the value it can bring to you and your environment. And so I don't want to talk too much. I think people want to see what you can actually show.
Thank you, Uli.
You're welcome.
So thank you all for being on our webinar. Thank you for attending in so many. It's really fantastic. Probably some of you will already have worked with me or recognize me, but it's not about this. So as Uli already pointed out, Zero Trust VPN, what is that? So actually I will put it this way. On a regular basis, we receive questions. Raphael, how can I access my SMA from the outside? The standard question we already have for 15, 20 years. My friend, no worry, put it in the DMZ, host it somewhere, get you a case as a service, use some reverse proxy, do whatever you want. This is the standard answer. But nowadays, and we all know, because all those constructions there imply port openings, reverse proxies, firewall configurations that are all such a delicious pies for hackers. Really, they are chasing for that. Now I'm going to show you two ways how we can access the SMA from outside without any DMZ, without reverse proxy, without firewall configuration. I will show you two things. First, I'm going to show you how we can access this from outside. And then I'm going to show you for the first time, I guess, how you can change your network in a real zero trust network. So let's go for it. I share my screen. Right. So first, a quick introduction about my demonstration environment. What you see here, that is my Proxmox environment. That is, how to say, that's a bare metal configuration virtual environment on one of my servers. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you, this is what you all know, that is the SMA. And that is running on port 192.168.840. Why I'm showing you that? Because here I have all the virtual machines, they are just running on my Mac, and you will see I cannot ping directly. Ping, I should learn to write that right. So I cannot reach the 840. So what did I do? And I put it here in the chat for you to try. I made the SMA available on a subdomain of one of my domains, and you can try it. And what you're going to see is the following. You have to log in with your email, and then you will send the code. Don't even try it, because you will never receive such an email, because you are not allowed to do it. But on the other hand, here you can see I'm at smasmartitconcept.com. I have no direct connection with the SMA, but I'm in, and I can do whatever you want. These are my connected devices. This is very suitable if you want to make one application or a couple applications available to the outside world. It's multi-factor authenticated. It's easily done. That is one way. But don't dream too fast, because only with this you will not be able to run your agent, because for that you really need a network. And this is what I'm going to show you now. So, Proxmox environment, that is all running on 192.168.40. That are two virtual machines here on that network segment, 192.168. These are three machines which are on my running as a virtual machine on my Mac. Now, as we said, we create a zero trust network, and I'm going to show you that immediately. Because what is a zero trust network? Just one second. This is an overview of our zero trust network, and as you can see, it's already branded with our own logo. What is a zero trust network? That network has all different IP addresses, and that is working peer-to-peer. So it doesn't matter where they are. If they are in the network, they can communicate each other peer-to-peer. There is no VPN involved, nothing whatsoever. So, and this is the magic, because we can add peers. So this network is absolutely not accessible from outside. So actually it's a VPN replacement, but much more modern. So instead of throwing a VPN from this machine to my network, I don't need to do that. I am on that secure network, and I can easily access the SMA from that network, from wherever you are. So this is the SMA, which is directly not accessible from here. But it doesn't matter. So even I don't have access directly, I can connect it from everywhere. So what can we do with such a zero trust network? As I said, so there is no firewall involved. There is no DMZ involved. There is no port forwarding, nothing. So this entire network is actually invisible from the outside world. It's only accessible from inside. Because what are now a couple of requirements for zero trust? Zero trust, no open ports, not even 443, nothing. One of the requirements. And then we also need network fragmentation. And this is what you easily can see here. And this you can even see in my SMA. If you see those computers, so Socrates, that's my MacBook, has this IP address. That WinARM2 is one of the virtual machines on my Mac, has this IP address. And that is a machine on my Proxmox, which is not directly accessible, but inventorized by the SMA, has another. And this is what they call, if you look at those IP addresses, this is what they call network fragmentation. Because the danger of the legacy VPN is one single point of failure. It means if one VPN in your network is attacked, your whole network is can be in jeopardy. Not with this one, because there is no lateral movement possible. And that is the beauty of a zero trust network. And there is, of course, much more. We can impose, and that is also one of the requirements in zero trust, we can impose device posture. What does that mean? So we can define the minimal requirements a computer or a device needs to be allowed on the network. Then we can say it has to be minimum Windows 11. It has to be patched fully. It may only connect from that country or that country. It has to have disk encryption. It has to have BitLocker. It has to have an EDR agent installed, and only then it will be allowed on the network. So because it's fully generated or controlled by policies, like you see here, I can, for instance, define which computers can talk to which computers. Not everything is allowed to everybody. Here, posture checks. And as I said, it can be combined with any solution that you might have. But the most important thing is there is no lateral movement anymore. There are no ports open. You are completely invisible from the outside world. You can be wherever you want. You are connected. So this is amazing. Now you're going to say, okay, Raphael, okay, got it. So that is probably some preparation for all that NES2, NES2 plus, INSSC, European regulations, etc. You're right. But do I really need to wait or to be pushed for those regulations? I don't. Really, I'm so happy that I implemented that, because I'm invisible from the outside, and I can assure you I sleep much better. I don't have any risk. I don't have outdated VPN in my network. I don't have it. I can assure you, this is awesome. We have several solutions for that. We have commercial solutions, there's an open source solution. And anyway, if you would be interested to know more of this kind of implementation, whether it's a zero trust network or the possibility to open up or to make an application, whatever it is, SMA, something else, to open it up without all that port opening stuff, DMZ, and so on, feel free to reach out. And if you would be interested in the Zero Trust Network, please make an appointment with our colleague Anita. And if you do so, and we have a meeting together, please prepare a virtual machine. And I will connect you immediately to my local network, which is not accessible from the internet. Then you will see that live, how it's working. And on top of that, because now we have such a system, then we can also provide, let's call it a new product, SMA as a service. We can even host your SMA on our own servers with the same zero trust network, and you are completely out of the blue. Also one of our plans for next year is to continue to give webinars around zero trust, because zero trust is much more than just a zero trust network. There's much more. You have to have loggings, unmutable backups. You have to have a system that an eventual auditor can audit your logs. That an audit, for instance, can ask, hey, on the 26th of October, who was logged in at that machine around 11 o'clock, and what was the actual situation of that computer regarding security? You have to be able to answer that. Well, don't worry, we will have all those possibilities in our portfolio. Couple more things I would like to add to avoid any confusion. So zero trust is not a hype. Zero trust is not a product. Zero trust is a concept. And that concept is very individual from company to company. And that is the reason why we are here, because we have all those building blocks at our disposal to create the zero trust that has the best fit for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a quick introduction about how you can make your local SMA accessible without all that annoying stuff.
Thank you, Raphael. I think this is really, really cool stuff. Please feel free to contact us. I got already some questions here in the chat. Is that Tailscale? What you just saw, it's not Tailscale. We're working with Tailscale as well, but in this case, it's something else. Please feel free to contact us if you think this could be interesting. Again, we took the SMA a little bit to start talking about it, but it's not only for the SMA. We can use it for everything. So I think this is really, really cool stuff. Yeah, let us know if you have any further questions. We're over the time already. I see most of the people are still in. So I think it was probably very interesting what you showed. My last point is what I want to share here. As we said already in the beginning, we have other partners as well. And so I want to quickly speak about one solution, I think, which is fitting very well here together with CASE. As you manage your endpoints and with patching, you want to secure your endpoints. So we also have another solution which goes at more in the direction the post-breach area. So if something happens, so you do everything to prevent that a cyber attack gets into your network on your devices, but there's no 100% security. So if something happens, then you want to make sure that you have a proper solution to avoid an attack to spread out in your environment. And this is what Huntress is doing. It's, if you want, it falls under the umbrella EDR solution. Yeah? But the really, really cool thing here is it comes with a 24/7 human SOC team. It's part of the license, and it's cost-wise, it's very affordable. Let's put it like this. It's a perfect solution for the mid-market, yeah, where you might not have your own SOC team. Cyber attacks are not necessarily happening during the day. Usually, those happening during the night, on weekends. And can you ensure that all the incidents created are followed up on time? They say a cyber attack takes about 5 to 7 minutes to spread out in your environment. So you need to be fast. You can't wait until the next morning and go through your incident and say like, oh, there was something. This is definitely too late. Yeah. So you need to act immediately. And this is exactly what this offer can do. Act immediately, nighttime, weekends, even if you don't have your own SOC team. Yeah. If that is interesting for you, my colleague Anita, she already put the link to our webpage here in the chat. I actually wanted to put it now, but she was quicker than me. So have a look on our webpage, book a meeting with us, and we're happy to share more information about what we were talking about today. With that, I don't see any more questions here in the chat. As far as I see, no, I think we answered everything. Then I want to thank you for your participation, and I hope this was an interesting webcast for you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks,
and
everybody. Thank you.
have a nice Christmas period.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.